Hey, 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 I give you my word that I am from the heart, pure joy, pure love, for I have forgiven everyone, always. I get very angry, I'm always truthful and sincere, like cats, but I have nothing to forgive. Never, ever, ever. I have nothing to forgive. And as you see, it's almost 1st November tomorrow, and I'm here shirtless. The literally sun is shining, blessing me. It's heaven on earth. And Mother Nature doesn't agree with hell on earth. And heaven on earth is within the kingdom within. And only when you forgive, if you forgive everyone, everything, you can live in the heavenly kingdom. You can actually be free. You have heart light like a feather, nothing holding you down. Angels fly so hard because they're so high, because their hearts are light as feather. Yeah. I really have nothing to forgive. I really have nothing to forgive. Nothing. For whatever is violating my energy, whatever others do that doesn't feel right to me, is not who they are. They are not doing it. I get very angry, so I stop them, but I'm not angry at them. I'm angry at their mind and their unconscious shadow controlling them. If I would have to forgive, then I would resent and blame them. No, I'm very sensitive. I express myself so I don't put up with what doesn't feel right to me, so I don't resent and blame, and I don't need to forgive. But if I would have to forgive, then I would think that they are that darkness, they are that ego, they are that unconscious shadow. And I would be that ego because I would depend the truth that I am on them. You hurted me, you offended the truth, now you better apologize so I can approve you and I can forgive you and I can declare that you are good enough. I would be in ego because ego offends the unconscious shadow, and ego needs to forgive. Ego is offended. Ego resents and blames. I'm very sensitive, like Buddha. I know I don't do anything to anyone what doesn't feel right to me, so I allow nothing from no one what doesn't feel right to me. And if they don't respect, and if they force and resist, then I get very angry, you know, so that they stop. But if I would have to, I get angry at their unconscious shadow and their mind, their ego just doing just that. But if I would have to forgive, if they would have to apologize, I would be an ego. My truth will depend on what I do. Their deeds would take away something away from my truth, and I would be an ego, commanding them, controlling them, forgiving them, approving them that now you are good enough. No, I am not angry at them. I have nothing to forgive, for they are not their ego. And if I would have to forgive, I would not be a master. Then I would be a ego, actually. Doggy, please shut the fuck up. Forgive. I have nothing to forgive, but you need to stop barking, okay, motherfucker? And if you have the forgive me that I was cursing now, then you are judging and accusing, and you are projecting your own darkness upon me. So today in this video we are to have bells ringing and a dog barking. Very good, very good, very nice. It's for me to really have that focus, no? So you see, then you can say, why? Then you get angry. Why then you do that crazy things you're writing in comments? Why you go too far always to bring the message home. Like, why? To stop their mind, to bring their unconscious to consciousness so their mind stops and they can get the answer within. And because I'm very sensitive and I'm truthful and sincere to what it feels to me, I say, this is not me, don't do this to me, it doesn't feel right to me, I don't do anything like this to you, what doesn't feel right, you will respect me. In this way, I let everything out, I release everything out, I don't keep anything in, so I don't resent, so I don't blame, so I'm not traumatized, I don't hate, and I'm not putting up and doing with what I don't like to do for them, or putting up with what they are doing and doesn't feel right to me. I get angry like it's true Zen master with no guilt, no fear, but I have nothing to forgive and I don't want an apology. I just want them to stop because I'm always being peace and love and teaching, giving you the word that I am. And I want this peace for myself. And I get angry that I release it out and that I let them know this is me. Love me for who I am. Stop doing this. I want peace that I am, and immediately I'm peace. And if they cannot respect, if they push, resist, they don't love me. They don't care how I feel. They only want to violate me with their energy. And if they are offended, they are their ego. I'm not offended. I only want them to stop. Because I'm giving peace to everyone and highest treasures, and what doesn't feel right to me doesn't feel right to me. And in this way, you have nothing to forgive, you have nothing to resent, because you are not putting up with anything what doesn't feel right to you, and you say no to what doesn't feel right to you. So people who don't care for you, who only want to do what doesn't feel right to you, don't care for it. You remove them out of your life. And people who care for you, they remain in your life. I have nothing to forgive. I only want them to stop, for I'm peace and giving peace to everyone. And I'm unique, sensitive, allergic, crystalline, allergic to the mind, Zen master, crazy as that I am, completely not like others. So what is normal to others is not normal to me. And I have nothing to forgive because I'm not my ego. I just don't want to put up with it, and I want them to stop. And that's why I don't want apology. And when people are apologizing and just excusing that they were doing just this, that they just meant like this and this and this is worse. Stop apologizing. You only want to convince me and change me how I feel so you could do in my energy what I told you it doesn't feel right to me. I don't want an apology. I want you to stop. For so many apologists are actually blaming you, gaslighting you that you actually did something wrong, and explaining that what they do is right and you have to allow them, and are actually taking your power away in that apology. No, no, no. I know what feels right to me, and I get angry, I release it out so that I have nothing to forgive. That's why when you are sincere and truthful to how you feel to others, you will have nothing to forgive. Nothing. Nothing. And you have to forgive. You forgive yourself only. You set yourself free from all the burden. Everything what you cannot forgive is karma that you will have to experience. And if you cannot forgive, you are suffering within. If you resent, if you cannot forgive, like Buddha said, it is like holding a hot shark in your hand, drinking poison, expecting other one to get hurt, expecting other one to die. But other one may be narcissists. They are enjoying somewhere with another woman, drinking and all this. They don't give a fuck. And actually, they may abused you 10 years ago, and they don't give a fuck. They are enjoying, but you are still resenting. You are still suffering. You are still being victim, living there, where that abuse, whatever you need to forgive, happened. So It's only hurting you. And if you cannot forgive, you create karma. You have to live it. Because if you cannot forgive, if you take revenge, if you resent, they have hurted you. They have hurted you terribly. They did it to you. And now you are suffering in it. You cannot forgive. You are being a victim. And if you cannot forgive, only you are suffering. No one else. Only you. And only you are a victim. And you get that karma. You have to forgive. You only set yourself free if you forgive. For if you cannot forgive, you only hurt yourself. You see, you only hurt yourself if you cannot forgive. And you can say, but I cannot let them go. I cannot let them go off the hook. I cannot let them go off the hook. They hurted me very terribly. They did this terrible thing to you. Look, you are not here to judge. You are not here to be the punisher, to be the giver of karma. Karma is automatic. For whatever they did, they are to have to experience the reaction and the experience. They are to have to live the reaction. They are to get what they deserve for what they did to you. This is how universe works. It always comes back to you. What they were doing to you, they will get back. Others will do to them. It's not your business. And if you make it your business, now it's your karma. Now you cannot heal. Now you're burning within, and now you make it your karma, and you suffer their karma with you, with them, and they have actually hurt you. They have abused you. You know, they are to get, like Jesus Christ on the cross. He has said, "Forgive them, for they don't know what they do." Why? Because even enlightened master cannot forgive you. He cannot set you free. He has nothing to forgive. He saw that he is free of birth and death. He is one with the swords. They killing only the body, but they are destroying their lives in worst hells that they will have to experience as a result of karma that they are doing to a holy man in this world. He saw they are lost. They don't know what they are doing. They are hurting themselves. They think they are their ego, and they're hurting me with their ego. They cannot hurt me. I'm eternal life. I have nothing to forgive. Forgive them, for they don't know what they do to themselves. Because he was like, I cannot help them. I cannot help them in any way. I cannot help them in any way. They are doing this to themselves. They have to pay. And I cannot do anything. Because even though when you forgive, you cannot change their karma, you have to understand that they will get everything. What they did to you, they will pay for it. And it's not a punishment, it's just the reaction of their doing, of their being. It's just the experience that they receive. And if you don't let go, you don't even start healing, you actually suffer that karma with them, which is actually there because you are resenting, you cannot forgive, you are holding hot iron in your hand, you expect the other one to burn you completely. You drank the poison, you cannot forgive, now you are dying, you expected the other one is to die. Now it's your karma. When you forgive, you start healing. You start healing. You do not even start healing until you forgive. Because you are still there, resenting, blaming, suffering, living back there when just that happened what you cannot forgive. And you are still being victimized by that living then. And only when you forgive, you can start healing. And until you don't forgive, you don't even start healing. And I know I have evidence that this is so, because there was an old man in an elderly nursery home when I worked, and he was 25 when he was beaten by soldiers. and he was very rich. He was landowner and like this, so this hurted his ego very much. My grandfather was tortured, people were burned to death, and all like this. He got few punches. And as a 90-year-old man, when we had, because he was important person and he had a speech in an elderly home, and as a 90-year-old man, you know what? He was always speaking about what the soldiers did to him. And you could see he never started healing. He was fucking almost 70 years living there, being a victim of being beaten by partisans. And even their daughters were telling them, I just fuck that, just get over it, just stop, you're like a child. Spoiled child, which he was. The people who got hurt terribly and killed terribly and tortured terribly, just shut up. Daughters were telling him that. He never even started to heal, and he died. He could not forgive, and he died still being beaten, getting few punches from the soldiers. That's why you only forgive yourself. You don't forgive anyone else. You only forgive yourself. You only set yourself free. Others are to have to pay for what they did to you. And you cannot do anything about it to stop them. And you are not even starting to heal until you forgive. You are not even starting to heal until you forgive. You are a victim of whatever happened. And you can say, but I cannot forgive. I cannot let them back in my life. They cannot be my friends. I cannot hang out with them. They hurted me and they will violate me again and like this. Hey, you have to forgive. But you should, if they still doing this and they are not changing and they do not respect you and they violate you and they do things to you and want things from you that do not feel right and they don't stop, you should never allow them in your life again. You should keep them far. Forgiving means that I set you free. I will not judge you. I will not punish you. You are doing this for yourself, but you are hurting me. I forgive you. Let the source give you highest results for whatever you do. I have nothing to forgive. I set myself free. But you have free will. You don't hate them. You don't resent them. You don't blame them. But you are not an idiot. Donkey goes on the ice only once. You don't want to be abused again, beaten again. You don't want to be cheated again, manipulated again. No. You don't want to see him or her again. Never. And you forgiving them. And you can, and even not. It's just important that you don't resent and that you don't blame and that you don't hate and you just let them have their karma. If you want, you can send them love, compassion from far. And you never ever have to see them again. Because forgiving you doesn't mean I want to see you again. Forgiving you means that I don't resent, I don't blame you, I don't hate you. I'm healed, I healed. You did it to me, you did it to yourself. Has nothing to do with me, it's your suffering. You hurted me, I heal myself. But I don't want to see you again. For you have to love yourself as you love others. You should not allow others to do to you what you never do to them. You never hurt them like this. You would never do this to them. So that's why you see. That's why you have nothing to forgive, you don't resent and you blame, but you don't allow them to do to you what doesn't feel right to you. For what doesn't feel right to you, no one should do to you. And who doesn't respect it, who still is doing it, doesn't love you, and is to violate you. And whatever is not right for you is not right for you. You can put a restraint, they never come to you again. But you are not resenting, blaming, and hating. You have nothing to forgive. You see, that means to forgive. Because if you allow them to be in your life still, Just listen. Now you suffer for them. You don't love yourself. They're abusing you. They're hurting you. They're cheating you. They're manipulating you. They do things to you and want things from you that do not feel right. Now you resent and hate and hate and resent, and you keep blaming them, and you're traumatized and you cannot forgive. You need healing. But like I said on a big beginning, when you say no, you express yourself what doesn't feel right to you. People who cannot love you for who you are leave. And those who respect you stop, for they love you for who you are. And others leave. And you don't have to resent them, you don't have to blame them, you don't have to hate them, because you're truthful and sincere. You say no to what is not you, and you have nothing to forgive. The same is here. If you allow them to hurt you, to abuse you, to do what they did to yourself, you don't love yourself. And now you are suffering. You are suffering for them. Now you hate them. Now you blame them. You cannot forgive them. No, you have to get them out of your life. So you have nothing to forgive. You have to love yourself. If you love them, if you're not doing to them what they're doing to you, you should not allow them to do to you. Now you can forgive everyone. Just important that you don't hate, that you don't blame, that you don't resent. Angels have fly so high because our hearts are light as feather. And whatever we have to forgive, it was our foolishness. We have accepted by our free will that person in our life. We have went in that field. We had done that. It's our responsibility. From the beginning, we always entered into it. And even if it's not, like my father beating me in the womb, that I'm blind on left eye, sexual abuse and all this stuff, and my parents abandoned me when I was a child, 2 years old age, and one when I was one, other when I was two. All the trauma and abuse and cheating. Everybody was hurting me, disrespecting me, abandoning me. But I had nothing to forgive. I had only so much to heal, because I'm so sensitive and so soft. So much to cry. And so many bad things happened to me in my life, and I could heal everything, and at 33 became enlightened master, because I never had anything to forgive. I had a lot to heal. And when you forgive, you start healing. So I start immediately healing. For I don't resent you. I don't blame you. I don't hate you. My father, I don't hate you. I love you like your cat loves you. If you beat your cat, I don't want to see you again. I don't resent you. I protect myself. And I heal myself. I'm not putting up with what hurts me. And I have nothing to forgive. And if you know that there's nothing to forgive, why? Huh? If you cannot forgive, you cannot forgive yourself. If you hate them, you hate yourself. If you resent them, you resent yourself. Always. Because whatever is happening here on earth to you and whatever others do, actually you have written the soul plan. You wanted it to happen. It was your desire. And you actually asked those souls who did it to you to hurt you and abuse you, those close to you, in most terrible way. But in this world, in world of separation from self, you forgot it. The game is real. You forgot the plan. And they really hurt you terribly. You really hate them. You don't want to see them like this. But on the soul level, you have asked them to do just that. What hurted you most, and they in forgetfulness, and you in forgetfulness, so that it appears real. And they were actually the ones who loved you so much, who love you so much, and are so close to you, that actually they did it. For they are so close to you and they love you so much, and they knew that you need it and that you want it, and that is for the greatest thing. What is the greatest thing? What is the greatest thing of me getting abandoned in childhood, sexually abused by somebody, not my parents, beaten by my father in my womb, seeing all the violence, living in all the poverty, uh, being traumatized by Hare Krishna, and before that being traumatized by drugs and abused, completely destroyed. These people who did these things to me, how could they did it for me out of love? How could I ask for it? Huh? Why are you think that I'm stupid, Purna, that I believe you, that I ask for my mother abusing me, and you telling me you ask for your father abusing you? Yes. For you came into this world from higher dimensions. You wanted to heal the world. You wanted to bring new consciousness into this world. And actually you needed experience. You have experience of heavenly dimension. You needed experience of trauma, abuse, disrespect, lying, cheating, deceiving, betraying, abuse. All this you needed. For all these are energies that people suffer in this world, and humanity suffers within them unconscious shadow, and is destroying this world in hell. Manipulation, control, opposition. And you needed to experience it, to know it, to evaluate it, so that you can evaluate it, master it, bring it to light, heal it, bring it to consciousness, and you can become master of whatever you were abused in. Like I have been most mentally sick because of my abuses and abandoned by parents, sexually traumatized. And I can now be a psychologist. I actually heal that sexual trauma, heal that abandonment, heal that mental issues. So now I can be master psychologist, so I can provide work that others can heal their anxiety, their abandonment issues, their violence from childhood, their childhood traumas, their sexual abuse. Because I healed it, I integrated within myself, I mastered it, and now I became a master psychologist, spiritual master healer of everything what almost killed me and people most close to me abused me and hurted me with. It had to happen. So I, as a crystalline child, could experience this opposition to life, separation to life, this darkness. So that I could heal it, master it, and heal in myself. I'm master psychologist because I healed anxiety, autism, even psychosis, depression. I healed myself. I healed sexual trauma. I have forgiven everyone who abused me, everyone who left me, everyone who ever did anything to me. I have nothing to forgive. Only they have provided, they were so close to me and they love me so much because they knew this. They knew that I have to experience and I have to evaluate it, bring it to light. I have to experience it, suffer in it, evaluate it, bring it to light, master it, so I can heal that suffering in this world and teach so others can forgive, so others can set themselves free, so others can heal themselves from trauma, from abuse, from whatever people did bad to them, so they can forgive. When they forgive themselves and they set themselves free. I had to get abused by them to suffer in it, to experience it, to reevaluate it, to bring it to light, to master it, so I can serve as healing light as world that I am. So other can forgive, other can heal their childhood traumas, other can heal their abandonment issues, their sexual abuse issues, and anxiety, depression, and like this. You have to suffer in it, be a victim in it, and you have to master it and become master of it, and then you are a master. If I was suffering in mental disease and abused as a child and abandoned, then I can be a master teaching to free others of that suffering, because I actually healed myself and freed myself from worst abuse and child traumas. When you come out of that darkness to light, you master it. Whatever you healed within yourself, you can heal within your others. And that's why I have nothing to forgive, and that's why I ask my father and my mother and my grandfather and my friend who killed my sweetheart, shot her in the head, and himself, when they had lunch together because she loved another man, I loved her. You know, everybody. And now because of him, I can have compassion to those who are killing, those who are victims of family killings. Uh, I can have compassion and serve as healing light to those who are abused by drugs and are abusing drugs. I freed myself, I healed myself from mental issues, from traumas, from sexual abuse, from drug abuse, and I'm a master like Jesus Christ, like Buddha. Out of that darkness came the greatest light. And I asked them, and they were so close to me because they loved me so much, and they knew that I needed to become a great master, that I am here so I can help to heal the world. And that's why I'm grateful for them. That's why I'm so grateful to my father and my grandfather. Thank you, thank you. And they did it out of love from soul level. In this world, they forgot when they abused me. I have nothing to forgive because they made a master that I am. I asked for it. No one else loved me enough to do it. That's why I'm grateful. I have to forgive. If I resent myself. They made a master that I am. In this world we forgot ourselves. But on the soul level they did it. For they loved me so much. And no one else was so close to me. Same was with Jesus. Judas actually did it because Jesus wanted it to happen, and it had to happen. He had to get crucified, and on the soul level, Judas was closest to him, and because was closest to him, and he knew that whatever had to happen, he did it. He betrayed him. But in this world, he forgot under the ego, under the game of ego. But Jesus, he remembered. Jesus was looking at him with a grateful glance, wearing a cross all bloody, thank you, and apologizing. Judas saw in his eyes, thank you, and I'm sorry. And Judas was like, why he's so gratefully looking to me like he did something bad. I killed him. Why? And he killed himself out of guilt. But Jesus was actually looking at him. You didn't use me. You didn't betray me. I used you. On soul level, I ask you to do just that. And I'm so grateful. You did it to elevate me in this world. So the light can be spread all over the world. And you did it, you destroy your name in this world. You will be considered like a devil. I'm sorry for doing this to you. He knew that on soul level he asked him, and no one else was close to him more than him. And he looked at him, I have nothing to forgive, I'm sorry. I'm grateful. And Judas couldn't handle it, he couldn't remember, and he hanged himself. Same like Krishna always remembers and Arjuna never. I remember, but you forgot. It's same souls, brothers, the closest. That's why. Forgive, forgive. For when you forgive yourself. You set yourself free only. Whatever you cannot forgive is burning you and hurting you within, keeping you in hell and karma. You only forgive yourself, you cannot forgive no one else. When you forgive others, you forgive yourself. They will have to get better and change and experience the reactions of whatever they did, even if you want to kill yourself, that they would not do it, that they would not get their reactions. What Jesus said, forgive them, I have nothing to forgive, I cannot save them, they're doing this to themselves. You always forgive yourself. And if you cannot forgive, you destroy yourself. But if you forgive everyone, everything, you save yourself, you heal yourself. You are free of suffering. You've forgiven everyone, free of weight, free of karma. You are an angel flying so high because you've forgiven everyone and your heart is light as feather. So express yourself how you feel. Don't keep it in so you don't resent, you don't blame. You have nothing to forgive. And forgive everyone everything. For you only set yourself free if you forgive. Everyone else will have to forgive for themselves. If you cannot forgive, you remain in suffering. If you forgive, you set yourself free of all suffering. I give you my word just for that. Thank you. And if anybody feels like you want to offer a donation, do know I respect it. I appreciate it so much. And I'm actually grateful, like a little baby child, for your every donation. There would not be art of the word that I am flowing from the heart like this if there was not your donation. Thank you. And I so appreciate, I know the times, and I am the abundance that I am. And I'm so grateful that I can give you my word and that I receive a donation. But I don't do anything what doesn't feel right to me. I don't chat, I don't do comments, because then I would have to resent and blame you and forgive. I teach you not to do what doesn't feel right to you, so I don't do that. But I'm so grateful. You're literally giving me energy that I require to stay in this world, to help you to get free of this world. Don't bless me, accept my gratitude and blessings. But I have special gift for you. I go in the silence of the mind. I say nothing. You tell nothing to me. But you have my holy word. And I will do quantum white light source healing for every single donation that anyone ever gives me. My holy word. And it's quantum white light source healing beyond time and space. You don't need to stand still. You don't need an appointment. You just have my word that I do it. And I'm clairsentient, like feeling is my first sight. Your PayPal in your email address in PayPal is enough for me to connect with your being and do healing on you. And you have my word that I do it, and like you don't have to know the time and when, because for quantum healing, this is just not necessary. This is my way. And you may say, but I don't tell you, I have to tell you something about me. And like, no, I'm not medical expert, I'm very sensitive. This would maybe not even help, it would not help anything. Because my way is to beam the best energy that I am, best highest source energy to you, and I'm focusing on your being free of all afflictions, so that you can utilize my healing energy the best. And you don't buy this. I'm not medical expert. I only have strong healing energy. And how much you work on yourself, how much you how much you work on yourself, healing works on you. If you cannot forgive, if you resent and you blame and you hate, no one can heal you. You don't even start healing. But if you take the word that I am to the heart and you forgive everyone, everything, let the source give them the results. You forgive yourself, you heal yourself, you set yourself free of all suffering. I only give you my word that for every single donation, healing is performed. Forgive, everyone, forgive. You only set yourself free if you forgive. Others are to have to forgive for themselves. I give you my word. Pur Namaste. Pur Namaste.